Well, as we all know, when the bell rang and the dust settled, Jey Uso is going to the main event of WrestleMania. Not really, probably not going to main event, but at Royal Rumble 2025, Jey shocked the wrestling world by last eliminating John Cena to win the men's Royal Rumble match and earn his ticket to headline the Showcase of the Immortals. And as expected, the internet erupted in chaos. Some fans are blasting Triple H for hashtag quote-unquote wasting a WrestleMania main event spot on a glorified tag team wrestler, while others are riding the Yeet Hype Express all the way to Las Vegas. But putting all the fanfare and tribal warfare aside for a moment, let's honestly ask ourselves, is Jey Uso actually ready to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania? Even though it looks like this year's Rumble winner is not going to main event WrestleMania. Well, last year's WrestleMania saw megastars like The Rock and Roman Reigns dominating the main event scene. Can main event Jey Uso live up to those impossibly high standards set by his family, or has the WWE made just their biggest blunder and potentially ruined a championship match at WrestleMania 41? Is this truly his time to yeet into immortality, or should he have stayed in his lane? Well, this is Grease from Wrestleology, and today we'll answer all these questions and more as we dive into the controversial rise of Jey Uso. To understand if Jey Uso is truly ready to be a Royal Rumble winning WrestleMania main eventer, championship obtainer, whatever you want to call him, we need to first look at where he came from. The Usos debuted on WWE's main roster in 2010, and for nearly a decade they dominated the tag team division. But it wasn't an overnight success story. The early years were definitely a struggle. It took them almost 4 years to capture their first tag team championship, and fans could barely tell the twins apart. But everything changed during the 2016 brand split when they turned heel. Gone were the face paint and the traditional Samoan warrior entrance, replaced by a street tough attitude that transformed them into one of WWE's most compelling tag teams. What followed was nothing short of historic. The Usos went on to capture the tag team titles 8 times, including a record-breaking 622-day reign as the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. They revolutionized tag team wrestling, delivering classic match against teams like The New Day, RK Bro, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Their WrestleMania 39 main event against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wasn't just the first tag team match to headline WrestleMania. It also earned a rare 5-star rating from Dave Meltzer. Not that anybody cares about Meltzer's ratings, but I thought it was important to mention, I guess. But here's the thing about tag team success. It doesn't always translate to single stardom. For every Shawn Michaels who breaks out from a tag team to become a legend, there's a Marty Jannetty who just fades into obscurity. Every Jeff Hardy who captures singles gold, there's a Matt Hardy who struggles to reach the same heights. That's in the WWE, of course. The question wasn't just whether Jey Uso could break away from the tag team division, it was whether he could step out of his brother's shadow and forge his own path. That's where the real story begins. Back in 2020, when an injury to Jimmy Uso forced Jey to stand on his own for the first time in his career. And what happened next would change everything. The true test of a wrestler's potential often comes in moments of adversity, and for Jey Uso, that moment arrived in 2020. With Jimmy sidelined by injury during the pandemic era, Jey found himself in uncharted territory, standing alone for the first time in his career. But it wasn't just any singles run. He was thrust directly into the spotlight against his cousin Roman Reigns, who had just returned with a new tribal chief moniker, with Paul Heyman by his side as the wise man. At Clash of Champions 2020, Jey shocked the wrestling world by going toe-to-toe with Roman in a deeply personal match that transcended typical wrestling storytelling. Despite losing when Jimmy threw in the towel to protect his own brother, Jey's performance made people sit up and take notice. This wasn't just one of the Usos anymore. This was a potential main event player in the making. The feud escalated to Hell in a Cell in an I Quit match where the psychological warfare reached new heights. Roman forced Jey to say I quit by threatening Jimmy's safety, showcasing Jey's emotional range and ability to tell complex stories in the ring. While he lost the match, he won something more valuable, and that was credibility as a singles competitor. What followed was Jey's transformation into main event Jey Uso as Roman's right-hand man in the bloodline. He proved himself in singles matches against Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio. The wins weren't always clean, but they established Jey as more than capable of hanging with WWE's top talent. His character work during this period was particularly noteworthy, portraying the conflicted younger family member trapped under Roman's manipulative control. However, this singles run was ultimately cut short when Jimmy returned from injury in 2021. The brothers reunited, leading to their historic tag team championship reign as part of the bloodline. And while this period further cemented the Usos' legacy as one of the greatest tag teams ever, it also meant putting Jey's singles aspirations on hold. Many wondered if his brief main event run was just lightning in a bottle, or if there was some more potential waiting to be unleashed. The answer to that question would have to wait until 2023, when cracks in the bloodline finally began to show. The real turning point for Jey's singles career came during the Bloodline's implosion in 2023. The catalyst was Sami Zayn's betrayal at Royal Rumble, where Jey's conflicted emotions showed through as he watched his family brutalize his former friend. After WrestleMania 39's historic tag team event loss to Sami and Kevin Owens, the cracks deepened. Roman's increasing reliance on Solo Sikoa over the Usos pushed them to the breaking point, and at Money in the Bank 2023, Jey achieved what seemed impossible by pinning Roman Reigns for the first time since 2019. That moment felt massive and led to a tribal combat match at SummerSlam that could have crowned him as the new tribal chief. However, Jimmy's betrayal changed everything, leading to Jey's emotional departure from SmackDown and the bloodline altogether. His move to Raw, orchestrated by Cody Rhodes, marked the true beginning of Jey's singles journey. He found quick success on Raw in the form of a brief tag team championship reign with Cody Rhodes, showing he could succeed without Jimmy. His singles matches against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, while unsuccessful, proved he could deliver in high-stakes situations. However, not everything was smooth sailing. The much-anticipated WrestleMania 40 match against Jimmy was a significant disappointment. What should have been their Brett versus Owen moment fell flat, with timing issues and missed expectations plaguing what could have been a career-defining match for both brothers. Despite the setback, Jey's popularity continued to soar. His "yeet" catchphrase became a viral sensation, and his entrance reactions were consistently among the loudest on Raw. He showed resilience in defeat, putting up strong performances in the King of the Ring tournament and the Money in the Bank ladder match. The highlight of his 2024 run came when he captured the Intercontinental Championship from Braun Breaker in September. Though the reign lasted only 28 days, it marked his first singles title in his 17-year career. Through late 2024, Jey continued to be involved in high-profile matches, including a World Heavyweight Championship challenge against Damian Priest at Backlash France, and a showdown with Gunther at Saturday night's main event. While he didn't secure victories in these matches, he consistently showed the ability to hang with top-tier talent as a singles star. And what's particularly notable about Jey's singles run is how he's managed to maintain momentum despite losing. Unlike many wrestlers who cool off after failed title attempts, Jey's connection with the audience has only grown stronger. His character work, particularly in showing vulnerability and determination in defeat, has added layers to his persona beyond just being Roman's cousin or Jimmy's brother. The Royal Rumble victory in 2025, eliminating John Cena last, serves as validation of his journey from a tag team specialist to a legitimate main event player, but it also raises the question, can he deliver when the spotlight shines the brightest? So, is Jey Uso truly ready for WrestleMania's main event? Well, the answer isn't as straightforward as his critics or supporters might claim. If we look at purely his in-ring record in major singles matches, the evidence suggests that he might not be ready. His WrestleMania 40 match with Jimmy underdelivered, he came up short against Gunther, Seth Rollins, and Damian Priest, his Intercontinental Championship reign was brief, and he hasn't secured that defining singles victory that screams WrestleMania main eventer. But you see, wrestling isn't just about the win-loss records and technical masterpieces. It's about connection, emotion, and moments. And this is where Jey shines the brightest. Every time that entrance music hits, arenas erupt. The yeet movement is becoming a cultural phenomenon, merchandise is flying off the shelves, and crowd reactions are reaching levels typically reserved for legends. I mean, he even got Travis Scott yeeting. But most importantly, Jey's story resonates with the fans. From being in his cousin's shadow to breaking free from the bloodline's grip, from tag team specialist to potential WrestleMania headliner, it's the kind of underdog tale that wrestling fans live for. His journey feels authentic because we've witnessed every step, every setback, and every triumph. The timing feels right too. WWE is in a transition period, seeking new stars to carry the company forward. While Roman Reigns and The Rock represent the old guard, Jey represents something fresh, a homegrown talent who's paid his dues and organically connected with the fans. His upcoming WrestleMania match against Gunther isn't just another championship match. It's a career-defining moment for Jey. It's like his chance to prove he belongs in the same conversation as his more celebrated family members like The Rock and Roman Reigns. And that's not me saying that he is on their level right now, but why not give him the chance to potentially be on that level eventually? It's a match that could cement him as WWE's next big star, but if he fails, it could relegate him back to the mid-card and keep him stuck under the shadows of the bigger stars in his family. The pressure is on, but pressure creates diamonds, or in this case, main eventers. This is Jey's time to do or die, and with the right booking, we might just get a yeet movement at WrestleMania 41, similar to the yes movement at WrestleMania 30 or Kofi Mania at 35. But what do you think? Did WWE make the right call having Jey win the Rumble? Is this his moment to ascend to superstardom, or should someone else have won the Royal Rumble? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you enjoyed.